How to buy Bitcoin in Australia. Your first step is to choose your cryptocurrency exchange. This can be quite a hurdle as there is such a wide choice, and some are difficult to navigate. We recommend CoinSpot as it simplifies the process. CoinSpot offers a huge range of cryptocurrencies, and sign up is easy as it leads you step by step through the whole process, including verification. The interface is clear, the fees are transparent and fixed, and prices are easily be displayed in Australian dollars. Plus, they offer local customer service. Here are the next steps you need to take to buy Bitcoin. Step 1. Sign up with coinspot.com.au. Please click on link below. Step 2. Enable two-factor authentication to keep your account safe. Step 3. Verify your account, and then you're ready to start buying Bitcoin. Step 4. Deposit Australian dollars into your account at your discretion. Step 5. Check your account funds. Step 6. Search for Bitcoin. Step 7. Click Buy. You can either select the amount of Australian dollars you want to trade or the number of Bitcoin you wish to buy. Review the details and finalize. It couldn't be easier. Please like and subscribe to our video and channel for more upcoming videos on how to buy Bitcoin in Australia. Check out our website at www.cryptocoins.com or www.livecryptocurrencies.net.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's Jason Pizzino. If you're new to the channel, we look at US stocks, Aussie stocks, cryptocurrencies, and economic market cycles using technical analysis. We're going to dive a lot into that today, and I've got something extra special for this video. I'm going to show you how I look at news and then how I relate that to the chart. We do things a little bit differently here on the channel because we dive more so into the technical analysis. And personally, I like to show you a way that I would look at the chart and the news, combine them together in my own sort of story making to understand what's going on. Now, it's well and good to have the fundamental research because you need to understand what it is that you're investing in. So you need to do that background research. But I like to share with you how I do my research on the other side of the spectrum, and that is finding areas of support and resistance, areas that I think are a good place to buy after I've done my fundamental research to understand what it is that I'm buying in. If that sounds like something that you're interested in, consider subscribing and liking the video. I know I ask for it in every single video, but it's just a free way to support the channel. Basically, YouTube ranks us in that manner if you like it and get a good watch time. So that's why it's so important that you let me know your feedback, whether you're enjoying the videos or not, what you want to see more of, and possibly what you want to see less of. Now, this checklist of procedures I use on cryptocurrencies, and the same thing can be applied to stocks, especially small stocks, which you guys are heavily interested in. Stocks that don't have that much data history, essentially the sort of new companies that haven't been around that long. So this is important, and this is an easy way to do it. Now, for today's video, I'm going to dive into one stock. Normally I cover 2 or 3 stocks, so let me know in the comments down below what you want to see next. And the stock, the comment that has the most likes and most engagement is generally the one that I'll cover next. So let us know in the comments down below. Today's stock is Novonix, something that people have been asking for a while, NVX. At first, I thought it was just another one of these stocks that is getting a lot of coverage in the news, and I thought it's just a newbie type of stock. Everyone's talking about it, and that's pretty much why people are talking about it, because everyone else is talking about it. The price has shot up a lot over the last few months, and honestly, that's usually why people are talking about stocks, is because they start to hear it and they start to see the price escalating so quickly. I love to get into stocks before all of this has happened, but sometimes there's the odd occasion where the stock is just setting up for another position, like another move in the north direction. So I want to have a look at this one today, Novonix. Let's dive across into the information and charts. All right, here we are at the slightly new format for the individual stock analysis. Let's cover what I've got here in the introduction. And the first thing is the 18.6 year cycle. Some stocks are bucking the trend. If you don't know what the cycle is, I do have some videos on the channel, so go and check those out. Essentially, we are in a 14-year up phase and a 4-year down. Now, this isn't just my opinion. This has been studies that have been done over the 400 years of history that there are for market cycles. I don't hear it talked about on YouTube almost at all. And if it is talked about, it has very limited coverage. I've followed it for numerous years, and have seen it hit the tops and the bottoms. Want to know more? Let me know in the comments. This video is about Novonix. The next thing I've got is that there is so much coverage of Novonix. Usually when this happens, it's because we're at some sort of major top and people are just buying in because they're hearing other people buy in. So I want to figure out, is this a good time to buy or sell, or just wait on the sidelines for a little bit longer? And with that, we want to figure out some good buying areas and potential areas that we could see some resistance at. Lastly, you have to do your own fundamental research on the company. Is it something that you want to hold long term, or is this just a short-term swing trade? For the guys who are looking for 6-month investments, that's essentially a trade. You're in and out, you're just looking for a good buy price and a good exit price. You're not in it for the 5, 10, 40-year investment. It's essentially a trade. So don't fool yourself thinking that you're getting into a short-term investment. You're basically trading in and out for a profit. Onto the chart, and let's check out some support and resistance. I've got the chart bare at the moment, and let's just use our naked eye to figure out some areas of support and resistance. I can see here already somewhere around this 30 cent, somewhere around 50 cent. This low, of course, is 13 cents, but probably around that 18 to 20 cents. You can see these are all kind of psychological areas, 20 cents, 30 cents, 50 cents back in the day. We've got an area up here at around 90 cents, then $1, then $1.20-ish, and then the highs at around $1.40. This one peaked just above $1.50, but none of these closed. So now chuck on the lines and a whole lot of data I have here. That's essentially what we've just gone through, the weekly chart for the resistance and the support areas. Resistance, like we said, you can see it now with the line much more clear, broken through, and it's hit on support, support again, broke through. So those areas are good. You can also look at multiples of these numbers because they are good psychological levels. 50 cents, $1, $1.50. You can see them coming time and time again. Now, that could be resistance, of course. Probably $2 is going to be something like that as well. These are all psychological levels. I had someone try and troll me on one of the videos saying, oh, I just said $2 looks like a good level. There's reasons for that. There's psychological reasons. I'm sure you've heard in your everyday people talking about their stocks and they're saying, oh, I'm just going to wait until it hits $10, $10. Like, where are you getting $10 from? It's a made up number because people like the sound of some round number. There's no other reason why the stock should go to $10 or $80 or whatever it is. So these levels are used. They're also in geometric angles and mathematics here as well. So that's why I've got them there. Plus you can see them play out. The next thing are the patterns. And this one we're sitting in is a pennant flag. And so I was considering that this stock could be at its extremes, right? I thought maybe this is going to fall after all the big news has come out, like we can see on all of these dates. That's what they are, and I'll get to those in a moment. But this pattern is kind of setting up to potentially break to the north side. There's no confirmation of that yet, and it could easily fake out to the north and then fall back. So that's why I want to see some confirmation before I would make a trade, because it's potential that I could get in a lot lower, maybe somewhere around these levels. So, save 50% on my trade or 40%, or even if it came back to these lows, I could still save 25%. And all I'm risking to the north side is 20% at the best. Maybe if I waited for it to break all-time highs, there's another 40% gone, okay? So sure, if you got in now, you'd have to weigh up, could I stomach a fall of 40%, 50%? Coming back to these old support levels, could you stomach that? Sit in a trade for many, many months, years, weeks, and that's why I've got these days on here. Like if this trade didn't play out, this took 894 days for it to reach its low before it came back to that same level. This is what a lot of people do not understand. They do not take the time to appreciate the amount of time that you would have sat in this trade. If you had bought at these highs when the news was going on, like we saw in June, all of this news for Novonix, and it hasn't reached its top again. So if that was you back in 2017, you still haven't even broken even on your trade and you've held it for longer than 900 days. It's been 80 days up, 79 days, and now it's been down for 12 days, which is this little area along here, and it's gone sideways for another, I think, 50 or so days. So these are all things to consider. Like it's so different to looking at it from the outside and not having sat through a market for years, holding this dirty bag fall on you by how much is that? 86% nearly. You know, like that's a lot of your money to lose and wait for 900 days until it takes off to potentially get you break even. With that said, let's move on. That's all the sort of risk analysis you need to make for yourself. How do I search for news? So like you saw on the chart, I've pinpointed these dates of extreme bar movement, price action, and I want to go through and have a quick look of what happened on these days to figure it out. So what I do is search Google, I put in the company name plus news, the word news, plus date. And an example of that is this, Novonix News, 24th July 2020. And I come up with all these different news articles from each of those periods. So you can go through and have a look at all of these yourselves, put these dates in and check them out. That was a big bar relative to the previous action. So it doesn't look big when you look at it here, but you're not you don't have this information back there. You have this information at the time of the day, right? So we're at the 15th and the rest of these bars are tiny. That bar is massive compared to those. Then we have another area around this point where the market takes off on the 2nd. There's some other news announcement there. Then on the 9th of June, that was the biggest one. That just took off and we haven't closed above that again. So that's why I'm a little bit suspicious of this whole setup, but we are getting higher highs at the moment and higher lows, not including this one back here. So this is high, this is a low, this is a low area, this is another low, potentially forming another low at the moment. This was the first high that it came back, and that's why we're sitting in this little flag. So we want to see some sort of breakout, and it will happen soon. We're getting very close to the tippy tip point of this triangle. That's a little dig at one of those politicians from the US. Anyway, back to the charts. Let's have a look here. We have news announcements. That's what I've mentioned here. Another thing to note, this is what I think about when I'm looking at the news announcements. Do you think people in the company knew about this announcement beforehand? I'm pretty sure they did. Do you think they could have told their friends or family? Probably, right? You're always looking for a tip. That's why you come on YouTube. The most searched thing on YouTube is tips on stocks. Like everyone wants a tip. So this is probably happening just before the announcements. It's insider trading. They shouldn't be telling anyone else, but we're all human, and that's essentially what happens. So that's why these people are going to know beforehand, and the price is probably going to move a little bit beforehand, and that's why you're going to know about it in the chart before it comes out in the news. So before these news announcements are made, you've got the price trending up. People are telling their friends and family, and they're telling the others, get in on this, it's going to be good, you know, they've got this announcement coming out, all that sort of shit that noobs do. I'll have to beep that out. All right, so then we move on, and that's how it all happens, right? It heads up and up and up, but you can see it in the chart before it comes out in the news. The last few things I've got on here is the upcoming 15th of September, the Tesla battery day. Will we see signs of insiders moving the market again before this date? I think so. I think maybe that's what's happening at the moment. That's why we're seeing the highs getting higher. Possibly after the news happens, possibly after that date, you'll see the market start to fall away from that point, if not beforehand, right? Things can't go up forever. They always have to have some period where they come back. The last thing I want to cover is the case for the bulls and the case for the bears. So how I would play this is the first sign of strength is closing above the recent high, then closing above the prior high, which was the major one at the all-time high of $1.54. I want to see 2 days in a row close above this just for extra confirmation. These would be my trade triggers. I'll show you on the chart in a sec. Just let's have a look at the bear case. Close below $1, then close below the recent lows of 82 cents. They would be my areas for stops or invalidation of the signal of it heading north. So just a final recap of these without all the lines on there. So this is the area above those highs at $1.30, $1.39, and there's the $1.54. Okay, so I did say on this chart it was around $1.40 and then $1.54. Closes below $1.82. Those areas are around here. There's the 82 at the low, and then the dollar psychological level is around that point there, where you can see it just starting to break above, and now it's sitting on a support. I don't want to see those levels broken, otherwise I would think the entire setup is invalidated and we would be heading further south. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that complete summary of Novonix. It's been a while, you guys have mentioned that a lot, so appreciate your patience in waiting for me to do a full analysis on that. I really like the look of this particular setup. In terms of the company fundamentals, that's where you'll need to do a little bit extra work to figure out whether it's a company you want to invest in long term. But looking at this, it could be one of those stocks that it could have big potential in the future. I would just be very wary of levels, like lower price levels. In case you were to see this stock break those, it could be some time before it takes off again. Like we saw at the peak, the previous all-time high in 2017. That was nearly 900 days that you had to hold this trade in a huge loss, 85, 86%. Is that something that you are willing to do if you just want to jump on board right now? Personally, that's not something that would be in my plan, and I don't want to see that. I'm happy to sit it out, wait for it to move in my favor, and then jump on board. I want to jump on board as it's starting to move in my favor, not in a position where it's waiting to decide what happens next. I'll wrap this video up there, guys. Let me know if you enjoyed this style of basically my opinion on how I read the news and how I add it into the charts, along with my technical analysis. Leave it in the comments down below. Do you want to see it more like this? Or do you just want me to just cover the basics of the support and resistance levels using fibs? Comments down below. Let me know what you want to see next. I do have some ideas coming up for BNPL stocks, sort of comparing those. There have been mentions of other mining stocks and banking stocks. I also want to cover the broader market in general and ETFs. So I've got a lot of big plans. I really appreciate you guys, all your patience and your comments with different stocks that you're looking for down below in the comments. You can catch me on Facebook, Instagram. I'm working on a Facebook group where we can all basically come together in one place and ask questions there, because I'm getting a lot of separate private messages and it's taking a lot of time to get back to people individually. So I want to bring it all together in one area. So stay tuned for that. I'll have it in the description in future videos. Appreciate your support to this point. If you enjoyed the video and found some value out of it, let me know by liking the video up, subscribing, and hitting the bell notification icon and setting that so you can see when these videos come out live. I'll wrap it up there. It's the end of the week. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you guys at the next video. And until then, have more fun to get more done. Peace out.